Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have an update on the case against Joel Greenberg, a couple of updates actually. It's pretty interesting. The judge in the case against Greenberg, as you may recall, gave him until May 15th to draft an acceptable, mutually acceptable plea agreement with the prosecutor. So that was coming up. And it looks as though they've struck a deal because Greenberg is now scheduled to appear in court on Monday morning, and the appearance is listed as a change of plea hearing. So Greenberg, of course, is facing 33 counts, including sex trafficking. Which charges he's pleading guilty to, we don't yet know. But as you probably know and remember, Greenberg is Matt Gaetz's friend. Republican congressman and all-around douchebag Matt Gaetz. And he's also his alleged co-conspirator in sex with an underage girl, also paying for sex with other young girls who appeared to be of age. Some of them were just underage yesterday. And also they purportedly plied these girls with drugs and coerced them into having sex with other powerful men. So to date, what has been gleaned from Venmo and Cash App records, there's evidence of Greenberg paying almost $100,000 to more than 40 young women over a period of just 2 years. And Gaetz paid Greenberg through either Venmo or Cash App at least 3 times. And reporters have also been able to connect Gaetz to many of these 40 plus young women, either through Venmo or social media or mutual friends. So this change of plea has huge implications for Gaetz, and it's pretty much a given. It's pretty much a guarantee that he's now cooperating with the feds in their investigation of Gaetz, because it's unlikely that prosecutors are going to offer him a plea agreement without getting something in return. He has to be giving up a bigger fish, or they wouldn't even bother. They would just take him to court and take him down. I mean, they've got him pretty much dead to rights. There seems to be irrefutable, well-documented evidence to all of his nearly 36 crimes. And as you may recall, I recently shared details from a confession letter that Greenberg himself purportedly wrote and gave to Roger Stone to beg for a pardon from Trump, in which Greenberg flat out states that he witnessed Matt Gaetz having sex with not just the 17-year-old, but other young women who they paid for this sex. And at least 4 women have now confirmed to reporters that they've been contacted by federal investigators, and they were asked specifically about the 17-year-old girl, and they were showed photos of her. And now, here's the other news. More details have emerged, which are really stomach churning. And if true, this Greenberg guy is a monster. He really is a vile monster. So out of the 40 plus young women who he's paid, at least the ones we know of, 12 were willing to speak with the Daily Beast. And they claim that were all paid for sex, either with Greenberg and or his friends, as far back as 2013. So it appears there's payments that we don't even know about yet. 10 of the 12 women said that they felt pressured to drink alcohol or take drugs prior to having sex with Greenberg or these other men. And in addition, all 12 women say that Greenberg encouraged them to invite their friends to take part in sex with him and or his acquaintances. Now, although none of them describe their encounters with Greenberg as sexual assault, some described their experiences as traumatic, and 4 of them said that Greenberg pressured them into having sex. So some have either sought therapy already or they plan to, and the reporter said that 3 of the women cried while they were being interviewed. Others became silent when they were asked to describe their encounters with Greenberg. So clearly not a good sign. And 3 additional women say that Greenberg refused to pay them when they declined to do drugs and have sex with him and a group of his friends. So if it wasn't sex for money, then why would he refuse to pay? And one young woman said that she had a threesome with Greenberg and another woman after being plied with, quote, an endless supply of drugs. She also told the Daily Beast, quote, I was under the influence of so many drugs, I would not have agreed to the other woman being there. I wasn't really in a position to say I didn't want to do this. I wasn't in my right mind. I was in over my head and it was kind of scary. So after that encounter, Greenberg sent her $375 via Venmo with a memo that read, quote, more to come. Less than 3 hours later, she returned the money to Greenberg and she just wrote the letter L in the memo field. Not sure what that means, unless it was for loser. But another young woman claims that she had an on-again, off-again sexual relationship with Greenberg for several years because she said, quote, she absolutely felt pressured to have sex with him. However, she cut ties with him after one very bizarre, intense situation, also involving drugs. She said that one night when she was with Greenberg, she pretended to take ecstasy. And when Greenberg realized that she was faking it, he became aggressive and he insisted that she take the drug. So she said she left immediately and she felt sick on her ride home. After that, she cut him off. Another young woman told the Daily Beast that she and a friend met up with Greenberg in a hotel and they also pretended to take a drug, but this time it was Molly. And a lot of these women say that he tried to force them or encourage them or gave them Molly. So this seemed to be his drug of choice overall. In this particular situation, when Greenberg discovered that they hadn't actually taken the drug, he got angry and he told them that they were, quote, taking advantage of him. So she said that she and her friend left because they believed he was dangerous. And she noted that he had already taken 2 doses of Molly at that point. Another young woman claims that she and a friend had an interaction with Greenberg in which he tried to entice them into having sex by offering them discarded IDs. So remember, he was the Seminole County tax collector, and people would turn their old IDs in to his office for them to be shredded and discarded. That's part of what he's in trouble for, is because he was taking IDs out of the bin that was supposed to be shredded and he was using them. So he was creating essentially fake IDs for himself and others. He would put their photos on with somebody else's name and information. These 2 girls had just turned 18 prior to this encounter with him. They were still in high school. One told the FBI that Greenberg didn't even ask their ages, but he obviously knew that they weren't 21 because he was offering them IDs for women above the age of 21. She said that when they declined sex, Greenberg then threatened them. She said that he told them that they would face charges for accepting the IDs that he was giving them. She told reporters, quote, he told us in detail he would go into the DMV, take old IDs people turn in, and just take them and give them to people like us, his victims, as a way to have sex with him. He made that very clear, and he made that clear when we didn't want to have sex with him. He tried to play like he was the victim, and if we didn't have sex with him and took the IDs, that we would get in trouble for the IDs. He basically said the payment was the fake IDs plus $1,500. So unbelievable. And you know what? Good for these girls who were clearly very young. And remember, this guy is like in his 30s. So he's pressuring these teenage girls who just turned 18 to have sex with him. This is sick. This guy is sick. Another woman told the Daily Beast that although Greenberg wrote the word flight in the memo section on Venmo when he paid her, she knew that the $1,200 he was paying her was for more than a plane ticket. She also said, quote, "I knew I wasn't actually going to go, and I know what he has done with other girls. So I knew what he was going to get me to try to do." Now, she did admit to going to the Grand Bohemian Hotel once with Greenberg, 3 other girls, and other men, but there's no other details beyond that of what may or may not have occurred. Another woman who spoke with reporters said that she did not ever feel pressured to take drugs or drink alcohol, and that she had a brief sugar daddy relationship with Greenberg. However, the relationship ended, she said, after attending a party at the home of a couple who was friends with both Greenberg and Gaetz. So she didn't say that Gaetz was there, but these people were friends with Greenberg and Gaetz. This woman told the Daily Beast that it became clear that the party was turning into an orgy, and she left after one of the homeowners opened up a cabinet which was filled with the morning after pill and offered one to her. And this seemed to be a regular occurrence, this whole group sex thing, because 11 out of the 12 women who spoke with reporters confirmed that they were invited at one time or another to participate in group sex. One said it was, quote, "clear that they were having these huge sex parties. He'd be like, 'I want you to meet this person and this person.' He was passing these women around." And many of the young women also recall a blonde woman taking part in threesomes and orgies, and they said that she appeared to have more experience with Greenberg. 3 of the women, in fact, who were college aged at the time of one of these such encounters, said that they met with Greenberg, this blonde woman, and several other, quote, "well-connected Republicans" in a suite at the Grand Bohemian Hotel. One also stated that there was a, quote, "huge pile of coke." Yeah, party of family values, guys. The 3 women, however, who were at this hotel said that they didn't want to have sex with Greenberg or any of the other men in attendance. So they left, and then Greenberg refused to pay them. So again, if you're not paying women for sex, why are you refusing to pay them when they won't have sex? And one of these 3 women said, quote, "we literally had to threaten him with a photo that he was in with drugs in it in order to get the money." Because remember, he's meeting these women, he's meeting these young women and girls on a sugar daddy website. So this website claims that this is not prostitution. These women are not explicitly being paid for sex. So some of these girls, some of these young women believe that that's really the case. They believe that they're just going to have fun and party and be taken on trips and be given trinkets and jewelry and whatever the case may be. But then they're hit up for sex. And again, I'll keep saying this. I'm not judging the girls or the women. It's your body. It's your life. You do whatever you want. But let's just keep it real. This is what it is. It's prostitution. If you're having sex for money and you wouldn't otherwise have sex with this person, that's prostitution. Now, there are other women out of this 40 plus who refused to speak with journalists. Some of them blocked reporters' numbers immediately when they received a call. And one woman in particular, who had received $7,000 from Greenberg, asked for money in exchange for information. So when reporters reached out to her, apparently twice she asked them to pay her in exchange for information on Greenberg and or Gaetz. And she sent a text to one reporter saying, quote, "pay me or GTFO." For anybody who doesn't know what that means get the fuck out. So this woman was also connected to Gaetz on Venmo, but she unfriended him after reporters reached out to her. That's a little obvious. And how low and greedy do you have to be to say, unless I'm paid, I don't give a damn. I don't care that there are men in power who take advantage of young, desperate women and maybe even have sex with minors. No, I don't care. I don't care if they're breaking the law on a regular basis. I bet she's one of these ones that calls herself a patriot too, just like the Capitol terrorists. Yeah. But really what struck me the most is consider the fact, as I said, this is a 30-something-year-old man. These other Republicans are grown men. They're all powerful men. They all have some sort of status in life and hold some sort of power. And these women know this. These young girls, these young women know this. And they're all teenagers to early 20s. It's disturbing to understand that these men hold power over these women. They can intimidate them. Just the age difference alone is enough to be intimidating. But then you add to that these men are connected, these men have power, and you've got this Greenberg guy allegedly threatening some of them. It's truly just disgusting what all went on here. So while I hope that Gaetz is taken down, while I hope that he throws Gaetz under the bus, I really hope that this guy doesn't get off with just a slap on the wrist. I really hope that they didn't make it such a great deal that he's just out to roam the streets within 2 years. I'll just lose my mind. Anyway, guys, I will have reporting for you on Monday because it is going to be really interesting. And I don't think that Matt Gaetz is going to get a lot of sleep this weekend. I think that, he might be tossing and turning. He might be a little nervous. Evil Jimmy Neutron. I have no sympathy. Womp womp and thoughts and prayers. I don't really care. Do you? All right, I'll let you guys know as soon as I hear anything on Monday. Take care. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and I will talk with you soon.